Hello, my name is Ryan Fleck, and today I'm going to walk you through the writing and running of a very basic Hello World program in the Java programming language. Now, Java is a pretty interesting language. It's object-oriented, statically typed, and it can scale. It's generally designed for building these massive, important enterprise applications that deal with plenty of user data, users in general, transactions. It's used by hospitals, banks, airlines. It's a very important and historically significant language, and it's still very much in wide use today. Learning Java is an excellent tool for your programming toolbox, or if you're just getting started, it is quite a good first language, as many of the things you will learn when learning Java can be transferred to other languages. And you can very easily step from Java into C# or C++, or even up to Python, or straight down to C with a lot of the concepts you'll learn. In order to complete this tutorial, you will need a few additional things. You will need a text editor, which you probably have Notepad built in, but it might be good to download and install Visual Studio Code, Atom, Sublime Text, Vim if you if you feel like that. But a text editor, any text editor will do. The second thing you'll need is the Java programming language, and more specifically the JDK, which is the Java Development Kit. You'll need a copy of the JDK in order to build and run your Java programs. Depending on what operating system you're on, the method for acquiring a copy of the JDK will be slightly different, but it is quite easy in most cases. Assuming that you've already installed a copy of Java and downloaded a text editor, and if you'd like to pause the video, I will wait for you while you do that. You can verify that you have Java installed by typing Java version. And you should see something like this with your Java version number showing up. If you don't see something like this, and you do think you've installed Java, you've probably just not set some sort of environment variable correctly. The most common installation issue I see are Windows users not adding the Java bin to their path. And that means that even if the Java executable is installed and on your system, your command line actually cannot see it. So I will post another video covering that topic, but we'll not cover it here. So I will link that video in the description. So assuming that you are all ready to go, let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is to create a Java source file. A Java file just needs to end in .java. That is the only real requirement. So we can go touch hello.java. Great. We've created our Java source file, and now we can start editing. If you're on Windows or using a graphical user interface, you can just double click on the file, but I use Vim, so I'm going to type Vim hello. Once you've got the file open in your text editor of choice, all Java files need to start with a class definition. So class hello. All right. Everything you write in Java needs to be generally associated with a class. And it is important that the class name, hello, is identical to whatever you write in front of as your file name. So you can see that this is a file called hello.java, and I have class hello up at the top. If it is not the same, the compiler will yell at you, and you will need to change your things. The next thing we need to write is, well, I'll explain it after I let you know what to type. You need to type public static void main. And inside those parentheses, you need to type string, hard brackets, args. So make sure that you really type this carefully, because if this is not correct, the compiler will become angry with you and will not run and this method will not run when you attempt to run your Java program. Essentially, what the main method is when you run a Java class, it will look for this method and execute whatever code is in here. This is kind of a special method because it is the only one that works this way. The public means that it can be accessed from outside of the class. Static means that it is not associated with any one instance of the class. Void means that the function will return nothing. And main is just the function name. String, this little bit inside the parentheses is for input. So whatever you write on the command line before you start this program will be passed here, but you don't necessarily need to worry about that yet. All that you need to worry about is that this function runs when hello is run from the command line. Great. So now you know that whatever is inside this block will run when you start the hello program. So what can we write to prove that the program's running? The simplest thing we can write is system.out.println. And inside that, you can write whatever you want, but I'm just going to write hello world. Great. Now that you've written that, we can save and quit. Or you don't need to save and quit, but I'm going to jump back to the command line. We can see our file is still there. The only thing we need to do now to run our program is to compile it. And we can do that by typing Java C for Java compile hello. Great, so we've compiled without errors. And we can see that we've now generated this hello.class file. What that is a compiled Java program, essentially. It is Java bytecode that the Java virtual machine can run, but I'll go into that in a future video. To run our program, all we need to do is type Java hello, and that will look for a class called hello in this directory and run the bytecode. And there we are, hello world. I'll jump back into the source code there for a sec so you can see exactly what we were working with. And with that, I wish you a good night. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial.